and I'm going to defeat you, because I'm gonna be the wizard. What? What do you mean I'm not the main character? Asta? But like, he's only one race, and he only has one magic. I'm like 5 different things. What do you mean I'm gonna be fodderized? What's this jobbing? I'm gonna become a paladin? Thank you to our $5 patrons, Redwolf4765, Midnight Gemlord, and Sean. Thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays and Redwolf4765. And a very big thank you to our $25 patron, Alex Ice Rose. Before I enter this breakdown / review of chapter 355 of Black Clover, please remember to leave your own on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification so you miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to this very chapter. Now, let's hop into chapter 355. What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here we are to chapter 355 of Black Clover, which is known as I'm actually looking for the chapter title real quick. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there we go. Chapter 355, Prince of the Stars. And honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for my boy. I am proud of my boy. My boy is my boy. But, yeah, come here. Tell me when the Deuteragonist has ever beat the final villain. Heck, give me more than 5 examples of when the Deuteragonist beat the main villain of an arc within a shonen series. You tell me. Lean close and tell me. So, since you can't tell me anything because it doesn't exist, do me a favor. Get ready to help me roll up this pack, because we know for a fact YUNO's going in it. But regardless, let's hop right to the chapter itself. So we open up and we do get to see that, Jack, speaking of packs, is, got smacked, and it's looking pretty whack, because bro literally just has a whole hole in him. Like, it's crazy. Once again, we see Morgan kind of just floating around being like, oh, I knew you were fodder, but I didn't think you were that fodder, dog. I would have hit you later. But he's kind of just posted up there floating. His hair is floating too. And we see that Yami catches Jack, and he's like, oh no. Oh, sweet oh Lord, he's already, like, we just started. Jack, we just started, bro. We haven't even got, no, we just started. He got here like 10 seconds ago, Jack. How are you already removed from the battle? Like, I don't even blame Yami's reaction here, because, like, under most circumstances, he'd be right. Go up to somebody right now. I'm kidding. Do not do this. But imagine if you got a hole through your stomach and your arm torn off. Yeah, under most circumstances, even in a magical world, you'd probably be GG'd. Like, bro was straight up missing probably a piece of his diaphragm, a fat chunk of his stomach, and I'm pretty sure his upper intestine. Like, all that's gone. He ain't that buff either. He ain't got that much to spare, and he is just pouring, leaking, dripping like somebody sipping on it. Like, legitimately, bro is donezo. Like, I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, he can definitely get healed up and come back into the battle, but if Morgan is already doing them like this, like, do we really expect Jack to be useful? Like, we're gonna have to give him some fodder, right? Like, we can't, he's gonna have to fight the guys up in the sky. Like, that's the only thing he's gonna be useful against, because he's obviously not gonna be useful against Morgan. Sure, you can argue that he's caught off guard, but I don't think, based on the fact how casually Morgan blitzed him, I don't think even an on-guard Jack would do much better against Morgan. He's obviously not going to fight Daddy Lucius. And even Asier, I think she's going to be mainly fighting her own kids. So I don't think they're even near enough for that interaction to happen. So I think Jack is kind of stuck out of luck. He's just going to have to be slicing up the guys in the sky. And I kind of feel bad for him on that front. Like, Jack seems like a guy who's really proud to be a captain. Like, it's part of his whole, like, identity and stuff like that. He respects himself, his strength. It's part of his ideology. If you were really, really powerful and you had a lot of pride in your position, you worked hard to get there, especially considering Jack's backstory of coming from not even realistically any highborn family. Bro's just like a commoner that grew up strong and got his cutting magic and was able to do pretty well with that. I can't imagine how he feels knowing that he was the first victim. Like, it wasn't William, it wasn't Charlotte, it wasn't Yami, it wasn't even YUNO. He, Captain of the Praying, I think the Praying Mantises, Captain of the Praying Mantises got immediately GG'd round start. He was the first victim. That's gotta hurt his pride. Like, even if he makes it through, even if all gets restored in the end, I know years down the line, when him and Yami are taking back, sipping back, knocking back drinks, Yami's gonna be like, remember when you got one shot? And then he's gonna be like, hey. It was a rough time for all of us. Not all of us. You were the one who got one shot. Like, I know. Like, to be fair, me and my homie have never been in, like, life, well, not intentionally. We have never put ourselves in, like, the front line of battle or anything. But I know we definitely have moments where it's like, we'll be hanging out and we'll just randomly call back to those and we'll immediately be like, hey. Let me be. Let me slide. Let me let that slide real quick. So I can definitely see this being a moment they call back to. However, as Yami is worrying about Jack being jacked up permanently, yeah, William did not let that slide. Like, immediately we see the plants reach out and they attempt to heal Jack. Or at least I believe some of them do. Because we know that William can use healing magic and stuff like that. Because he is the one who was able to, like, full on keep the entire Golden Dawn alive while he was fighting Xenon, which is crazy to think about. That's still an impressive feat to this day, the fact that he managed to heal them all while fighting Xenon. So I feel like Jack may be able to at least be held off here until, like, a real proper healer can show up. I'd say, like, William, he's probably good at healing. He's obviously a captain and stuff like that. But I think he'll definitely need, like, a specialist like Mimosa to come and, like, help him grow his arm back or reattach his arm, refill out his entire torso. Like, I'm not exactly sure how good William's healing magic is to the point where he can, like, actually do something proper against them. And I think, just based on what happens later on in this very chapter, William's probably going to need a healer himself. However, we do get to see that William is, in fact, not letting this slide. In fact, I'd say he's just a little tiny... Right, maybe he's just a little bit nettled, and he lunges at Lucius. And, you know, like, I mean, I gotta consider it from their situation. They didn't actually interact with Lucius. Like, they didn't actually see him, nor, like, get a proper read on his power or anything. If anything, they may view him as, like, a weak coward, like he's hiding behind his paladins. He ran away immediately. He was hiding for so long. So maybe that's it. But, like, William, what made you think that you, of all individuals who did nothing in the entire last major arc, other than get kidnapped and GG'd by Xenon, who probably was barely trying, what did you really think you were going to do against the eldest Zogratis? What were you really cooking? Like, do you even think you could beat Julius? Do you? Do you, William? Do you, like, what made you consider this? What was crossing your mind? We see in his head, he's like, I am who I am today because of Julius-sama. Even if it costs me my life, I'll stop you. And it's probably gonna cost you your life. But let me tell you something, bro. You probably ain't gonna stop him. And we do get to see Lucius. Yo, I feel like the most disrespectful people on the planet are the ones who are attempting to be polite. Like, I've known many individuals in my day, and I specifically remember one friend of mine from way back when, I think it's like 5 years ago now. He was about to get into an altercation. Someone did not like what he did. I think he literally just, like, stepped on their shoes. I think he, like, accidentally stepped on their shoes. And admittedly, shoes are extremely expensive, so I understand getting a little bit nettled. But this guy, he was trying to get into an altercation with my comrade. And we see what's this guy said to him. It was very similar to what Lucius says to William. He's like, of all the people in this entire group that you want to fight, the last person is me. So don't do this to yourself. Like, when he's like that literally felt like a movie moment. Like, I remember looking at him like, huh? And notably, I'm no fighter. I'm not even that big of a guy. Like, once again, I always reference him in all my videos because we always, if we're talking about raw power scaling in real life, the 6'7", 320-pound dude seems like the strongest of us. This was not him. This was not that guy who stepped on that guy's shoe and was about to get into an altercation. No, this guy's smaller than me. He's like 5'11". but darn does he know how to fight. So I get why he said it like that, but it just came out like, so it was respectful. He was like, dude, just don't do this to yourself. Like, legitimately, he was like, I do not want to hurt you or anything like that. But it was so disrespectful in the moment. To be fair, the guy didn't fight him. I think he knew. You never want to fight the guy that's like, do not do this to yourself. So he knew that. But Lucius comes in with that same level of disrespect, and he's like, he even says regretfully. That is crazy. Imagine, he's like, regretfully, you are not my opponent. He essentially told William, I hate to tell it to you, bro, but you are not that guy. You're not that guy. Like, that is crazy. That is like the level of disrespect. And to be fair, once again, I can't even blame Lucius. Lucius is one of those villains, like, where if he talks that talk, I believe him. Because he's literally, in my opinion, the most broken character that the verse has seen. The raw physical and magical ability of Lucci, on top of whatever base stats he had, on top of the base stats of all the other 3 Zelgada siblings, on top of their magic, on top of whoever he's actually infused with. He ate Lucci's heart. I don't think he actually used the purification process on Lucci. So he probably has an extra ability from whichever demon he's incarnating through, which we don't even know about yet. So honestly, bro's just super duper snapped and stacked it on with time magic and soul magic. So yeah, respectfully and regretfully, William really isn't his opponent. William's fodder. Even if you want to argue that he was like suppressed or held back in the Xenon fight because he was trying to protect the Golden Dawn, he wasn't beaten 100% Xenon. Lucius is like 100% Xenons at a bare minimum. So that's crazy to think about. And we do get to see within this time barrier that immediately just shuts down and disintegrates all of William's Vine attacks. Like, they just immediately all get destroyed. Lucius transcends. And I wonder if he just does this for fun. Like, bro does not need to open with this every single time. Like, he was out here boxing extended post-year training TU Asta in base. And he's out here just dropping the transformation on fools left and right. Though admittedly, it is very interesting to see that he just has a normal Grimoire. This was something that was noted forever ago. But it's crazy that Julius, someone who is definitively weaker than Lucius. I'm sorry, I don't buy any of the Julius arguments. I think he's a pre-time skip character. I'm not even talking about like the year time skip. I think he's like a pre-6-month time skip that leads to the Spade Kingdom Arc kind of character. I think he's that level. So I'm shocked that Julius, I guess maybe because he had more experience, maybe that's why his book was so much bigger and larger and spinning in the sky like that. But Lucius just seems to have a regular Grimoire. It's very interesting to see. And speaking on the fact that I mentioned that, yeah, William may need a healing mage himself. Yeah, Lucius, he cooks that boy. Chefs him up. Really cooks his arms with the time spell. The time barrier that was once surrounding Lucius immediately goes to William, and William, you can literally see his arms are like actively disintegrating as the time spell touches him, which makes sense. Like, his clothes are burning away because he's literally just being aged out of existence. Like, I wonder if Lucius is really holding back here, because you got to think, right? Lucius, not even Lucius, Julius was able to send out time spells that just immediately popped and people were gone. Like, people were just straight up gone. I forget which people he did that to. It was way back when he was first introduced, I do believe. He whipped out a time spell like this that like disintegrated people, but it wasn't like a slow moving orb that will like take away your arms and take away your, no, like he blinked and then bada bing bada boom, the guy was gone. So maybe, even if subconsciously, Lucius is holding back against these captains because he does actually have a genuine connection to him. I'm not exactly sure how their whole dual soul thing works, because it never necessarily got too deep of an explanation. I'm not even sure why Lucius went to sleep for so long, or was like chilling, waiting around for so long. Maybe it was some sort of contract thing. But regardless, even with that being the case, I wonder if these guys do have influences on each other. And thusly, it may be Julius holding Lucius back from the inside from just casually one-shotting fools. Because realistically, there's no reason why he shouldn't. Unlike Asta, no one here has resistance to time magic. No one here has resistance to soul magic. You may be able to argue William could have it because he once housed 2 souls. It may be like a whole JJK thing where, oh, if you have 2 souls, you understand the nature of the soul better, and that's why you're able to somewhat resist soul-based attacks. But in terms of time magic, it's just the cheat magic. They should all be GG'd, like, immediately from just touching Lucius, or Lucius should be able to one-shot them all. But it seems like maybe he isn't, and while I could just write this off as, oh, well, we obviously can't start the war with Lucius just GGing everyone, the whole story would end in, like, 2 chapters. But I think a good way in narrative and in character to justify that is to explain that Julius is inside Lucius, sort of like tugging away, holding him back. Like, even if he doesn't realize it, Julius may just be worming his way into Lucius's subconscious to really weaken his attacks and slow him down so his people can survive, which I think would be neat. I think that may be a plot point that gets introduced later, because I don't think... I'm still kind of leaning on the fact that Julius is alive somewhere in there, and they're probably going to try to restore him or save him. I just don't see Tabata, with the narrative he's been telling so far, actually putting Lucius/Julius down for the crimes of Lucius. I just don't see it. I see him getting saved and liberated and stuff like that, and he's going to have to apologize and all that. Because notably, like, Patry got redeemed. William got redeemed. But then again, I mean, no, these are sympathetic characters, kind of like Julius is. Like, sure, striking down Lucius is important, but I don't think Tabata has the nerve, which is crazy to say. I don't think he has the nerve to go out of his way to really, like, put Lucius down, because that would mean putting Julius down. So, interesting, we'll see. However, with that being the case, we do get to see that Charlotte's a little bit concerned about William. And, you know, I'd also be a little bit concerned about William, considering bro's getting literally torn apart. However, we do get to see that Lucius is like... None of you have the power to stop me. And to be fair, he's absolutely right. Not a single one of them do. Like, I don't see any single one. Even if you, this is going to sound crazy, if you were to fuse all them together, like legitimately isolate all their magics and make like a pseudo composite captain character, I still don't think they'd beat Lucius. I think Lucius is just that strong. And who knows, I may be meat munching Lucius just a bit too hard. But I don't think I am. I think he's just that goated. However, we do get to see that with Lucius making such a declarative statement, heavens fall. And we see him declare, now bear witness to the final judgment. And we see all these big old bird people. All these big old boys up in the sky. Begin preparing a heavenly light. And notably, I'm not exactly sure what these things are. Are these like actual angels? These aren't people, are they? They don't even have legs. Like, the only thing that concerns me about them, like, not actually being like people and may actually be like real genuine angels and stuff like that, is because unlike all the other different paladins that we've seen so far, or anyone infused with underworld power then purified, they, one, don't have the same markings on their wings or anything like that. Like, looking at Nacht, looking at Lucius. Also, the fact that they just don't have a real, like, proper human form or anything like that. The legs. They're missing legs. And it just seems strange. I really wonder if these things are, like, creatures that Lucius genuinely summoned from the heavens. And, or, maybe these are just straight up mid-tier underworld creatures that Lucius purified or something like that. I really wonder what these things are and why they all have the same ability, too. Maybe these are just angels. If so, I mean, it wouldn't be too shocking. We know there are dwarves, there are elves, there are demons, there are humans. So it wouldn't be too shocking if there were just angels. But I wonder how Lucius called them. Did he like go bring, 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 bring? Hello? Ah, yes. Am I speaking to heaven? Ah, yes, you are. I need 50 angels by Judgment Day. All right, we can make that work for you. Like, I don't know. But we do get to see that as they begin to bear witness to final judgment, every single Magic Knight looks up in the sky, and they're like, huh? I'm doing all this and I don't even get pension? What? What is this light? The sheer number and amount of magic is overwhelming. We have to stop them, or else the kingdom will... No, there's no way we can stop them. We can't protect anyone. And like, at first, I was a little bit disappointed in these individuals. I'm like, come on now. Y'all are Magic Knights. This is what you get paid for. But then again, I have to think about this, right? Say I was a magic individual who had no screen time, had no screen time, had no development, didn't even have a name magic. I'm just here to be fodderized. And I'm looking up in the sky, and I see these beings that look like 15 people all in one, with wings and no feet, no toes. And they're charging up this big, massive heavenly beam from the sky. Yeah, I'd probably give up hope too. Like I can't even necessarily really get mad at them, because this is the most reasonable reaction. Yeah, the kingdom's gonna fall, because like, what do you really expect you to do? I'd just run. Like, what, Pencil? You would be a deserter? In this case specifically, yeah, they're literally raining down light beams. I ain't blocking that. I am not beginning of series Yami. I cannot react to light beams. We are done. However, we do get to see that As these angels have prepared, finishing their attack, they utter one word: perish. And then bada bing, bada boom, heavens fall. Now, notably, I need a Black Clover fighting game right now. Get Arxis to make it, because Arxis needs to make every single fighting game. Give me Black Clover Fighter Z, I suppose. Give me Black Clo Fighters, because this would be a legendary ult. Like, bro, the way the skies split from the heavens. Like, legitimately, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And like 18, 19, 20, 20, like over 20 plus whatever these things are, angels, paladins, whatever, they all rain down these multi-pronged light attacks. And every single mage, every single person, human being, because they're all humans, so I don't think there are any elves here, all these human beings look up to the heavens and they just realize, oh, well, it's been real, it's been fun, and we had a good run, y'all, but it's time to get done like we did the elves. Which is crazy to think about. They literally all would have been one shot, but suddenly we see from a star, they all connect, they all link, and boom, there's this massive circular barrier that protects the kingdom, every bit of it, from right to the top of the highest castle, that protects them all from the light. And I'll admit, that's crazy. Like, to be able to do that instantaneously. No, the attack had already fired. Let me see. Yeah, you don't even see the stars until the attack is literally like an inch away. Like, one of the attacks is literally pretty much touching the top of the tower. But boom, instantly these stars appear, they link up, and they form this barrier, which is super impressive for whoever's performing this feat. Golly gee willikers, fellas, I just wonder which one of the main individuals that could be here could be performing such a feat that would require such magical strength and excellence. I wonder who it could be. And they also happen to be the only wielder of star magic. I wonder. However, we do see, as all this light rains down and gets blocked, it seemingly dissipates. Like, the light hits, and it seems to, I'm not sure, it's interesting, I'm not sure if it bounces off or if it teleports somewhere else. Like, I wonder if the person who's utilizing star magic, like, straight up pulled a Minato when the alliance was about to get hit by a Ten Tails Bijudama, and it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, like, brace for impact, I just sent it somewhere else. I wonder if he did that, or if what it kind of looks like the light just refracted off of this star shield. Which is interesting too. Like, are those things just gonna go fly off and dissipate somewhere? Though, with that being the case, everyone realized that, oh wait, shoot, we made it, dog. Like, we're good. We live, but whose magic could have done that? How could it prevent an attack that big, that girthy, that thick, that meaty, that throbbing I'm sorry, but regardless, we see that people notice. Oh wait, look, stars. It's not night yet, which is interesting. Like, I still remember the whole My Hero Academia night day debacle. But it's interesting because, like, a majority of the kingdom is still covered by darkness. Like, the clouds that split above sort of form this, like, bright halo around, but it does actually kind of look like nighttime. But we see, obviously, the source of the heavenly light within the darkness. Shadowed amongst the trees is none other than the child of the stars themselves. The Prince of the Stars, if you will. We see that Yami himself is like, whoa, it's only been a year and a few months, but this kid's gotten this much stronger. He's just like Daddy Julius doesn't hit as much as Daddy Lucius. I don't know why. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Something about the J versus the L just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Something about Daddy Lucius hits so much better than Daddy Julius. I don't know. Maybe just because I disrespect Julius all the time. But with that being the case, we do get to see that as William falls back and is healing himself, regrowing his arms from the fact that they were literally destroyed, we see he manages to fully heal his arms. And he's like, I see. I really am a side character of a side character. You're already far stronger than me. You or the captain of the Golden Dawn, YUNO. And yo, now, I'm something of a power scaler myself, so I do have to admit, it is actually a bit buku buku bonkers that YUNO managed to do all of this and pulled up in Lucius's face in base. Bro has not whipped out a single sylph. Bro has not, I mean, he's activated Star Magic and he's got both his Grimoires open, but still, he hasn't pulled out anything too crazy. Bro's running around in base. No transformations, no amps, no nothing. Bro's just pulling up with his raw gains. And he's doing it like that. Like, that is insane. Bro is bonkers for just pulling up like this. And we see the Captain of the Golden Dawn, YUNO, is reflecting on all that has been lost, because he thinks back to when Asta was sliced on the chest and Lily was taken away, and we see that in the past he went and visited his own hometown. Well, not necessarily hometown, he's from the Spade Kingdom, but still his old family, and they're all crying and in pain over the fact that they lost Asta and they lost Lily. And we see that Yuno's like, yo, let me be completely real with you, Lucius. I will never forgive you. However, the reason I'm going to defeat you isn't because I can't forgive you. It's because I'm going to be the man who will become the Wizard King. And admittedly, don't get me wrong, YUNO, you are pretty heat. I like the way the bandages are coming off to show that proper hand of yours. I like how you're flexing, dog. But you and I both know you aren't the main character. But we do see Daddy Lucius himself says, as expected, I will have to destroy you. So overall, WWW chapter. I'm super excited to see YUNO versus Lucius. You've definitely heard my opinion so far. I don't think YUNO stands a chance. Like, being completely honest with you, I think he's kind of just done. But I think it'll be a good fight. I'm interested to see it. I do really want to see I do want to see Paladin YUNO versus Asta. I think that'd be really, really cool. We never actually got to see these two fight in the manga ever. Like, I don't think ever we've seen it, not even as a sparring match. So I would love to see YUNO and Asta have a real, like, full out everything fight as a warm-up before actually fighting Lucius himself. And overall, I'm super, super excited. Tabata, once again, he's been just cooking and chefing it up. I'm afraid the whole kitchen's gonna burn down at this rate. He's up there with Gege in terms of just dropping peak every week, in terms of, like, up there with Kanashiro Sensei in terms of just dropping peak every week. Blue Lock, JJK, and Black Clover have just been consistently hitting for me. There hasn't been a miss in ages. So overall, I just hope he keeps cooking from here on out. However, that's what I think. Please, what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the little notifications will miss out on any videos I come on the channel. Also I do have a Patreon down below. Each one as low as $1 down a month. There's videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to this very chapter. Now, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That with a Pencil, writing off.